Yep, I ordered 2 more brand new Soundcore Flare 2s. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, why did you buy 2 more? And don't the 2 you have already do the job? Well, it's pretty simple. The first ones that I had, the Soundcore Flare 2s, are very good. They definitely sound great, and I still stand by what I said. But since then, I've noticed a couple of things that I definitely wanted to inform you guys, and also showing just how much I enjoyed them, and also answer the question as simply why I bought them. So, let me explain. For starters, I want to just disclaim a couple things real quick before I start this video. I have already reviewed these speakers, and I've already done a review, sound test, and everything you need to know. So, if you want to see a better in-depth review of me taking a look at these speakers individually and together, link at the end of the video or in the description box as follows. Now, for new users just clicking onto this video, my name is Technoid. I am a tech show host that runs a show called Technoid, where I talk all about the news and rumors of tech without giving you the BS you don't want to hear. But sometimes I like to branch off and do a review here and there, and this is one of them. So, if you like the content, you like what I bring to the table, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss an episode whenever I upload. And to current subscribers, thank you for returning, and make sure you hit that like button. Now, let's discuss. So, when I first did these 2 reviews, when I reviewed them, I had said to me that these were the best summer speakers that you could buy, that money could possibly get you. They sound great, they are cheap, affordable, and they sound excellent. That's my whole highlight, they sound excellent. But since then, I've noticed a couple of things in my personal life also, because I live in a bigger area of my house, and I started realizing that maybe I should get 2 more. So for starters, these speakers, I preferably use them in the summer. Sometimes I bring them in my house, and I usually use them depending on how I feel. Now, one thing I want to note, and since this is also kind of like an update video, because a lot of people have asked me how's the experience been since you've had them. For starters, they still are very well. At full blast, there is no distortion, there is no cutoff, there's no latency in terms of the music, and for the most part, PartyCast works phenomenally. My only problem that I've noticed is that these speakers, for some reason, work a lot better with iOS products than Android products. There is a latency issue on all of the platforms, so when it comes to iPhones, iPads, Macs, even Android phones, there is a latency issue. However, though, that can be fixed with a firmware update. But that leads me to my second issue that I've had with these speakers. It's been a while since Soundcore has released these and let them fully fleshed out on the market, but there's been a lack of firmware updates, and there's a ton of bugs that are being issued. I've called them out on Twitter, I've said you should do it. Either they're choosing not to either acknowledge or they're working on it, but I feel they should work on a firmware update because there are some issues that I do need you guys to know, because if you are planning on buying these, you need to know. For starters, the PartyCast can tend to separate. So since these are mono, they both work together as one. But sometimes when they separate, the speakers then start to individually play from each other while the same song, but they sound separated instead of sounding like one. And they start to glitch out, they start to deteriorate, not deteriorate like that, but the sound starts to go down. There is that latency issue, and I feel that Soundcore really needs to work that. Another issue I have, and this is probably not a firmware issue, this is more of just something I've noticed, with PartyCast, the main speaker that is connected, you can only connect one of these. You can't connect all 3 of these to Bluetooth. It can only be this one. So let's say this is connected to Bluetooth, this is connected to Bluetooth, and this is connected to Bluetooth. You can't use PartyCast. You have to manually turn off the Bluetooth on all of the other 3 and just leave this one on Bluetooth, and then you can sync them with PartyCast. I find that very annoying because every time I connect one of these speakers to my phone or my iPad or whatever, I would have to turn the other Bluetooths off, or I would have to figure out a way to get them looped without bothering the Bluetooth frequency. Now, let's get to that latency issue. The latency is very noticeable on YouTube, but when it comes to music videos on Apple Music, or sometimes Spotify if you're lucky to find one, there is no latency there. Mostly YouTube, the Apple TV app, Netflix, and a couple of others have slight latencies, but not terribly. The main noticeable latencies you're going to notice is YouTube. And I really hope that Soundcore releases a firmware issue where it, as you can see, they all go off on notifications, so at least you got to see that. But I really hope that Soundcore releases an update where not only do they fix the PartyCast issue with the deterioration, the distortion, but they also fix the latency issue and maybe give it a few tweaks in there. So that's just something I wanted to update you, but now let's get down to why I bought the two more. So for preferably in the summer, I like to have a lot of parties, I like to spend a lot of time outdoors, and I really like to listen to music. Music is a key to me, and I love music. These two on their own sound incredible. But the more people I have over, the more bodies that come into the backyard, the more sound is required. And as the sun beams on them, these things do tend to heat up. They start to hear the transducers on the side start to pop out because of the heat. So with that being, you need to get a little bit more. So by adding these two, I was able to not only, and also if you're wondering, I am using these as I'm filming this, so don't worry. They sound a lot more spread out. I can put speakers in different areas. They help to cover the whole backyard. And preferably whenever I have UFC fight nights with my friends, these are the centerpieces. Not only do these things light up, they do a great job on the sounding. There is no latency on Safari web browser for some reason. But whenever we're watching the fights, these things light up very nicely. They give a good sound. They're nice and loud and full. Now for some people, 2 is enough. 2 can fill an entire backyard. These things can do it. But if you're a party guy like me and wants that extra sound, these 2 will do it. But let me explain something. If you have a bigger area of land and you want more of a fuller sound, I think getting 2 more would definitely serve your needs perfectly. I think right now where I stand, I'm happy with the 2, but these 2 will definitely kick it up to another notch. The next reason why I got the other 2 is just how easy PartyCast is. Despite some of the issues and the bugs, when you connect PartyCast, they work flawlessly. They just sync up, that's it. And it's not a process where you wait, they automatically sync up. As you can see, the lights change together, which is something I like. You could change the volume and they can all work together. My only issue is that you can't change the volume on the other ones, which is kind of a downer. I wish that there would have been a way where you can let all of them adjust the volume and they all go together, not just the main one. Because let's say you don't remember which one's the main one. Now obviously you'll probably will, but let's just say you're going to the nearest one and you want to turn the volume. You can't do that. So I hope that maybe that's a firmware thing, or maybe that's just a programming thing, who knows. Now, when it comes to Bluetooth codec support, I think it's safe to say that these things support SBC and AAC. I haven't seen scrambled code in terms of Samsung, and they sound a lot better on the Apple products because Apple uses AAC. So I think AAC and SBC are the 2 defaults. Some people have said that they've seen other ones, but for me, AAC is the best default Bluetooth codec for these things because they give you a nice louder sound, nice detail, and they're very good. Next thing also why I bought these other 2, and this is their last reason, and most of all, they sound so much better. Now I know Soundcore made a new speaker for about the same price, although $30 a little bit cheaper. For some people, that's enough. The Rave Neo is bigger, it has better drivers, and it has better bass from what I'm being told. But I've been able to listen to it, thankfully, with people that actually buy Soundcore products, and I have been able to listen to it in extents, and honestly, I wouldn't buy it. Not that it's bad, not that it doesn't add value, but for the fact that it's big and bulky, not as big as you'd think, but the fact that you gotta carry it around, and if you wanna buy more, you gotta find places to put them. They do work with PartyCast, but the emphasis on the sound signature on that particular speaker is bass heavy. Obviously, those ones make up for a deeper bass than these have. These have a good bass. The Neo doesn't have it doesn't have a weak bass, I would say, but it has a deeper and a much more pronounced bass. Whereas these things are nice and gentle and they do the job perfectly. The reason why I opted for these is they're smaller, you could take them out anywhere you want, they're very convenient if I say so myself, and most of all, they just work perfectly. I like the fact that they all just do the job. And honestly, if I'm being honest with you guys, the Neo is nice, but these things sound so much better when you link them up. And the fact that they're cheaper, they are so much more cheaper. For $69, these things still hold up to what I say, and you could buy more and give them out like hotcakes. if you're like me. But the point is, the Soundcore Flare 2 is something that I really enjoy. There are a ton of issues that they definitely need to fix, and I think a firmware issue will fix that. I just hope that Soundcore, if you're watching this, please get on those firmwares. Please help fix the bugs on these things, because if you were to slam a couple of those bugs with latency and maybe the issue with PartyCast, I think you would probably have the best solution to a Soundcore signature lineup you could have. Because right now the bugs definitely have their drawbacks, but on terms of everyday music, they do the job. And that's why I bought 2 more. I like them, they're affordable, they'll be much easier in my backyard, and for the most part, convenience factor. So yeah, that's why I bought the Soundcore Flare 2. Now, if you're somebody that's looking to buy them and you really want an opinion based on them, as I said before, I did make a review and I go into more detail talking about it. So if you want to see that review and if you want to get more information in your purchase decision, check out my review. And also guys, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you hit the like button. If you disliked the video, hit the dislike button. That does help circulate my videos as well. As always, everybody, thank you all for tuning in. I hope this video helps give you guys some idea of where you're going, if you want to buy them, if you're thinking of buying more. There is a sound test in this video. You will see me in the backyard, in the swimming pool and stuff, so I hope that helps as well. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get going. Thank you all for tuning in. Take care, everyone, and peace!